In order to move forward in life, we must clear the past. Well, the past is also an illusion. So during this time period, how do we connect to our future self? Is through the space of the soul. Because from the space of the soul, of who you are within, has all the probabilities in the field of the astral plane, and the astral plane is speaking and says, I want you to merge timelines so you can see that you are existing everywhere simultaneously, and you can choose which dimension you want to experience here. We are becoming multidimensional. We're becoming aware of things, but our physical mind cannot operate in those dimensions because it's so linear and it has so much memory of the past. So it moves us away or creates illusions, and therefore we cannot really connect to the highest timeline that is meant for us. Merging of timelines, what does that mean? In order to move forward in life, we must clear the past. Well, the past is also an illusion because it's not present. So you're holding yourself in a space of illusion and constantly replaying these scenarios and stories inside yourself. And with that, we create belief systems, and we have the subconscious mind that activates during certain time periods. So the planet Neptune is a planet of illusion, and it asks us to release illusions based on the events that took place and the memory that stored it. In all of that, in astrology, I was just talking to Cher about this. Neptune is a planet of illusion, of dreams. But in reality, that planet is a merger between timelines. Because you have different aspects of you existing in different timelines. There's a future self, there's a past. And Neptune says, I want to dismantle all illusions. But it's not dismantling illusions of your dreams. It's dismantling the illusions of your past to connect to your dream. And when you're able to release the past, then the future self is able to present itself to you. It is like you sitting and talking to your past self and knowing how to correct the event that took place in this dimension. And when you talk to yourself in the past, you're actually appearing as a future self, reaching out into the different timeline to accept the event or change the belief system that took place. Well, the same thing is happening to your future self, which is 5 or 10 years from now. Is talking back to you and giving you visions that's guiding you into a better version of yourself. And that part is coming and saying, no, 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 this is not the time for you right now. I have a better path for you. But you're still making decisions based on your past. So in the past day or two, maybe you were like happy, and all of a sudden you had like all these thoughts that came back, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought I worked through it. How many of you have had that feeling in the past 2 days? Right? It's like out of nowhere, all these memories started to come back. Yeah. It's because Neptune wants you to let it go. But Saturn is the gatekeeper, says, learn your lesson, and I will work with those two planets. Because the planet that is the furthest away is actually the strongest vibrationally. So during this time period, how do we connect to our future self? Is through the space of the soul. Because from the space of the soul, of who you are within, has all the probabilities in the field of the astral plane, and the astral plane is speaking and says, I want you to merge timelines so you can see that you are existing everywhere simultaneously, and you can choose which dimension you want to experience here. We are becoming multidimensional. We're becoming aware of things, but our physical mind cannot operate in those dimensions because it's so linear and it has so much memory of the past. So it moves us away or creates illusions. And therefore, we cannot really connect to the highest timeline that is meant for us. Fear is one of those things. Fear of letting go of the past. That is the ego. And that sits very deeply in the space of the heart and the solar plexus. So if you've been feeling the solar plex, so those that have been doing their meditations, scanning that space or staying in that space of the solar plex, it will help you let go, especially at the field of the right side of the solar plex, which is more connected to your liver, to your past. And that is changing, that is shifting, because that is also connecting to our right hemisphere of our mind, which is the imaginative side. It is the side of creativity, of multidimensionalism without limit, boundless, that has all probabilities. And you are standing at a doorway of which direction to experience, which way to go, what to choose. But the little ego mind says, no, 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 over here, because this is familiar. You want this. This is what you experienced. And you think that was the best experience you had. But you have to let go of that experience because the future experience is so unknown. The ego doesn't know. But the soul says it is much better what's coming once you let go of the past. And that letting go looks like it's letting go, but it's not. It is actually accepting it without judgment, without fear, accepting the event that took place and just being okay with it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to heal it. You just have to be okay with it in the present moment, because this is what Neptune is. It is the higher dimension of creativity. Not your just regular creativity. It is the creativity of your soul's essence. And the little mind cannot be as creative because it only becomes creative from the past. So the presence and coming into stillness, this is where we find the multidimensional opportunities that are presented to us through the planetary moves, which are the clock of the soul. It is the timing of the soul's expression through understanding, acceptance, surrender, nurturing,